What's up, y'all? Today I want to talk about how you can watch professional or high elo games and how you can watch them in a way that's actually beneficial to your gameplay. So today we're going to talk about how to find good VODs, then we're going to talk about how to look at them and how they can actually help you. So first thing is how to actually find them. My favorite way is to literally just go onto YouTube, type Challenger, and then look up Victor versus Yasuo or whatever champion you want to play for the matchup you want to see. And that's going to pop up. Sometimes it'll be big names. Right here we got Dopa and Chovy and Faker. Sometimes it will straight up just be Korean Master. Some random Victor versus Yasuo Korean Master game. Or EU West Master. And these are all really good to look at. And so now you have lots of things to look at for what you're trying to look at. And there's lots of different patches. I really like the replays. So let's go to EU West Challenger. Victor versus Jace is a good one. I do really want to see a Yasuo one though. So let's go with the Faker one. Faker playing into this Yasuo. Now, when you're actually watching these VODs, the thing that you mostly want to take away is you want to kind of compare and contrast your gameplay to the professionals. Now, there are some things to kind of, depending on your rank, you have to take into account. For example, if you're low elo, so I'd say like if you're below Diamond 1, the game states are going to be different. Because your games are going to play as fast and they're not going to play as smoothly. So the exact wave patterns aren't going to be correct, or the exact wave patterns aren't going to be translatable. But what is always translatable is the mechanics and the combos and the power spikes and the build paths. So all of those things are transferable. So if you're like in the normal ELOs and you're looking for these VODs, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for matchup knowledge. You're looking for mechanics. You're seeing, okay, when is he careful? When is he aggressive? So if we come here and we skip up to lane phase, we can kind of see, okay, they're being interactive level 1. Again, this is kind of weird, but it is what it is. And you can see Faker does weird things, like he's taking Fleet and Ghost here. This is something I, as a Victor player, would never do. So you may want to watch this and think, okay, they may not be doing something that I necessarily agree with or that I would personally do, but there's still things to learn from it. Or you may even get a new idea from it. And you think, okay, maybe in this hard matchup, maybe Fleet is the play. Maybe I can get a big advantage. And now straight out the gate, we can see Faker's being hyper aggressive on wave 1. He's zoning Yasuo off incredibly hard. Oh, it looks like he's going up to get vision. And now he's being a little bit more careful because Yasuo has the space and actually has to ghost. So this would be an example of something in low elo you wouldn't really be able to understand a lot from. And that's okay. You're just be like, oh, I don't really know why he did that. That's kind of whatever. When high elo with the Elise, if you can get tracking of the Elise, you know that you're going to allow your Nidalee to kind of invade. And if you can get your Nidalee ahead, you probably win this game. So that's what he's thinking here. And as a high elo player, if you are Diamond 1 or higher, that's what you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for exactly how he manages the wave. Compared to you, how he plays the first 5 relative to you. Is it similar? Is it different? That's mostly the biggest difference. You're looking less for the mechanics, less for the matchups, and more for the exact how does he play the waves, exact how does he play the game state. And you always want to watch these VODs under the assumption that they're not 100% correct all of the time, but you're kind of using it for inspiration. So you're not going to necessarily 100% copycat, but you're going to get inspired from it. And if you don't understand anything that he's doing, then don't use any of it, right? Blindly copycatting is not going to be the way to go. So this game is, I think, is already complicated. I'm trying to learn how to play against Yasuo. If it was me reviewing this, I would already go to the next one. I'm like, this is too different because he's taking different runes and he has like this weird jungle matchup that he's playing around. I would actually go to the next one. This is a matchup that in my personal games I've been struggling with a little bit. So he actually goes Electrocute. So people are going really weird runes into Yasuo. I would never go Electrocute anymore because First Strike is just like scaling Electrocute. So it's like, there's no way I would be taking Electrocute. I think I'd normally go Airy in this matchup, but I may consider just going First Strike. And you can see wave 1, he's being hyper aggressive. That's the takeaway. He's being hyper aggressive on wave 1. Now me, I'm trying to see what wave he's crashing, and it looks like he's trying to crash wave 2 before Yasuo can even hit level wave 2. Now, my understanding of the matchup, I actually have a hypothesis of what's going to happen. my hypothesis is Yasuo hits level 2 here. Yasuo's going to be really strong. Us as Victor, we have to be really careful. So that's my current understanding. I'm going to see if what he does is different. If what he does is different, I'm going to kind of get a new idea. Oh, yep. And we can see Yasuo or Victor's backing up way back here. So it's kind of confirming my hypothesis. And I'm like, okay, so that is generally correct. He's being super careful on this wave. We want the wave to be a little bit more on our side as the Victor. And that's kind of what I'm looking to understand. Okay, so Yasuo blows his he blows his Q3, his tornado, so we step up to be a little bit more aggressive. Yasuo has to use wind wall to kind of stay even in that. We actually take a pretty even trade. Maybe that's why we're going electrocute. Maybe I need to go electrocute, right? And those are kind of the ideas that I'm getting generated right now. I'm kind of thinking I'm gaining ideas to try in my own games, and that's really the biggest takeaway from these pro reviews. Now, the second thing to really look for that's really helpful is you can actually watch the reverse of the matchup to gain what I call oppositional empathy. So sometimes we won't really understand what the opponent wants, and we want to understand when we have openings or when they're being careful or when they're being strong a little bit better. So I'll actually look up VODs from the opponent's perspective, right? So we'll look up Yasuo versus Victor, hoping to get a Yasuo VOD from the Yasuo thing, Korean Grandmaster. Okay, beautiful. So not only will this give you more VODs of the same matchup, but it'll also show you a little bit more how your opponent wants to play the matchup and kind of what your opponent is understanding. So here, as the Yasuo, we can kind of see, okay, and also this Victor went airy. This is much more normal to what I would go as the Victor. So this is really nice. And you can see he's playing super aggressive wave 1. Same exact thing. Right? If all of these VODs are playing the same wave pattern, that's probably the correct wave pattern. Yep, he's poking the Yasuo. Here, Yasuo is actually doing a good job of keeping the wave a little bit more in the middle. So this Victor's not pushing as hard. Right? This Victor's actually letting the wave come to him. So this is actually different. And this is another idea I wanted to try. And all I'm learning right now is that all of these ideas are playable. I've been struggling in my first couple waves against Yasuo, but I just have to be a little bit more disciplined on anything, because Victor right now is super safe, but like he's losing level 2 spike. He's not getting any good proud to get vision down. But he's super safe into the Yasuo, and he's getting lots of good poke. Look at that. And now on this bounced wave, he has enough of a health lead that he should be able to kind of not just get all in. And of course he has the potion advantage, and he actually took biscuits here as well, which is maybe something I'll try. Oh my goodness, he's being hyper aggressive because he's up that health. Okay, see, so I'm already learning a lot just from the Yasuo's perspective. If you can get him to overplay, you can whittle down his health, and then you're not as scared of his all in if he has way less health, because then you can just kind of play hyper aggressive like he is here. So I just wanted to show you guys. Oh, I guess the last thing that you can look at, especially if you're playing in kind of more of a normal elo, is kind of skipping to some team fights. Oh my goodness, this Victor went 0-3. Him not getting that early kill is really bad for him. You can try to skip to team fights. It's tough in these VODs because team fights tend to not happen that much. Team fights don't happen as much in high elo as they do in low elo, because the games are so fast paced and it's so lane dominant that like usually like you win lane and then like you go dive top or bottom lane and then you invade the jungle. It's lots of skirmishes and way less team fights, but you can try to go find a team fight or go try to find a skirmish, and that might help you understand a little bit better of the mechanics and the positioning of the team fighting as well. But the biggest thing you want to take away is understanding when they are playing aggressive, when they're playing passive, and you really want to try to figure out why. And you want to understand kind of how is that different than what you're doing, and is it good or bad, or is there a reason that they're going off of that we can find? Or are we just understanding the matchup wrong? So I hope this video was helpful. For me, this was awesome because I actually learned a bunch. I've been struggling into Yasuo and Irelia as my Victor recently, and I just got a bunch of ideas to try. So I'm going to go stream twitch.tv/jsmethod, by the way, after this video is uploaded, and I'm going to hopefully run into some Yasuos and Irelias and try these ideas out. I'm going to try to go airy. I'm going to try to concede wave 1. I might try electrocute and play way more aggressive on wave 1 and 2 and let 3 and 4 bounce back so I can kind of freeze. I have a bunch of ideas of how I can play aggressive and less aggressive at different kind of periods, if that makes sense. So those are the biggest takeaways you want to take away from these. I hope this was helpful. Y'all have a blessed night. I'll see you guys around. Peace.